Okay, in the last session we created the data model and the different type of loadings using Qlik Sense, and
Mhm.
today we'll
Right.
deal with all the objects of Qlik Sense, and we'll frame out a dashboard. So we'll create a couple of dashboard, and based on those dashboards, we will also create some storylines. There's a new concept introduced in uh, Qlik Sense called storytelling. Okay, so it is a kind of composition of multiple dashboards to a single frame. It is not only a single dashboard which we are clubbing the objects together. However, if you have multiple dashboards also, you can club together in a single screen called storytelling. Okay, story. So it is basically used for presentation and to quickly wrapping of the quickly walking through the dashboard to demonstrate something. So that's why this storytelling is required. That is very interesting. Then we will walk through the expressions of Qlik Sense and the various advanced scriptings. And then once the development is completed from the Qlik Sense side, desktop side, then we'll move on to the Qlik Sense Dev Hub, which is the hub, which is actually work as a uh, web web development, Qlik Sense Cloud development, where we will deal with the mashups, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, and then web development will finish, and then we'll post the application. So this all will be covered in the rest of all the sessions. Just to give you a heads up.
Mhm.
Please saying a Qlik Sense new version is available. However, we'll download it in the after the session offline. So let's walk through the existing version which we have.
Mhm.
So our data model we created here is data model viewer. We can visualize all those tables. Probably we created you know this is one of the Excel table I suppose, and these three were SQL Server,
The
and
binary.
these three were from binary load. Probably let's look into this
Mhm.
data load editor. So the entire activity which we did, like creation of the QVD, creation of the data model, we did in the ClickView file, which is there in this data model
Mhm.
QVW. Now we loaded into here, and we have also loaded a separate table, which is you know we're loading from the web. Okay, in the last session we also see that we loaded the table from the web file, that is HTML file.
Mhm.
It was
That's it.
from um, this is your Wikipedia. So this was the
Mhm.
file. This is the data which we loaded from the wave, and based on the country code or country name, this is also joined with our customer master table based on the country names. So here we have the data model. Let's start with it. Let's start with the visualizations today. And dimension library we have created. I mean master library, where we have couple of dimensions and measures. Here you can simply go and edit this sheet to work with any new object, to create any new objects. So this is master item, where we
Mhm.
it's also called as master library, where you can get the master items. Dimensions and measures are here, and here we have all the charts, and this is individual fields. We can also get the fields from here, even if we had not created any dimension and measures. On the fly we can drag it to the object and customize the property and create it. but it will be specific to that particular object only. But if you're creating this master dimension and measures in this library, that would be global to this entire applications. So whatever the changes you will do here, that will be affected to the entire application.
Okay.
Okay, this simple bar chart we created in the last session. So let's see what are the properties available for a bar chart. We simply added this dimension to the dimension property and measure to the measure property, and uh,
Mhm.
title on the fly you can click here and mention it like customer wise revenue. Okay, the particular this chart is not yet looks complete. So what we can do is let's take a drive through this properties of this chart. So here you can also add multiple dimensions. The way we are added, we are able to add the multiple dimension and click here. Here we can also add multiple dimension to form a multi-dimensional analysis and multiple measure as well. So it is a simple bar chart, one dimensional. So let's not add it. Sorting, we can also sort by dimension or measure. If it would be by dimension, so probably it would be by alphabetically, and if it is measure, the values will be sorted from the higher to lower. So like it is now, it is sorted by what? It is sorted by
Yeah.
measure primarily,
I had to learn.
right? You can see sorted by measure. If you just drag this measure to second and customer to first, then primarily it would be sorted by alphabetically. Okay, you can see here when you make it done and see A, B, C, D, and all these are the alphabetically sorted,
Mm-hmm.
and go and edit. And if you just change this revenue to top, and it must be sorted by the revenue, I mean, which is an expression, and expression can be enumerated or evaluated. That's why it is from higher to lower. So it is from higher to lower. If you want to make it ascending, I mean lower to higher, so straight away you can go to the property of the revenue sorting. Sorting it was auto, so you need to make it custom. Instead of descending, you can make it ascending. So starting from the bottom to top, it is showing here. This is so. This is how it is done. Sorting. Now there are many add-ons. Calculated conditions we will give here. We simply added this property was also there in Qlik to mention a calculated condition in the chart. So simply we have added a entire we have added a dimension into it and measure into it. So we're treating this dimension as a global one. That means it would not be customized to a for a particular object. Okay, we have created a global dimensions. It should be common to all the charts. However, if you want to make any further customization on these particular dimensions, we should not do it here, because if you do any changes, that will affect to all our other charts. Okay, so I will not do any changes. I'll make it as a common. And if you want to make any condition on the dimension label, okay, or on the measure label, you can do it here. So say for example, here we have customers A, B, C, D, all those stuffs. So any condition you want to write here, you can mention the set analysis as well as if else conditions. That I we will show here. So if you want, say, equal to there's a chart where this customer. We're defining revenue there. So mostly, most of the revenues are greater than this. Yeah. So we can mention the condition like if the chart revenue reaches up to certain level, then that item should be shown,
Mm-hmm.
not all items. Okay. In that case, we can define the conditions.
Right. Like to show only the top
1.23
customers or something.
million. So if revenue is greater than,
Mm-hmm.
very few. Okay. So this condition matches with this value, so that's why this chart is showing. So likewise, we can define the uh, calculated conditions
Condition. Yeah. So
and a reference line. So reference line, this is basically a kind of you can say this concept was not there in ClickQ. We can define maximum reference line, minimum reference line, median reference line, your average reference line, which will be shown in this chart to just make a quick decision making, to facilitate a quick decision making. So I've just added a reference line here, and I will just give the label as max. So you may have very clumsy items in your chart, and it would be difficult to identify which one is bigger instantly. If two bars height would be looking apparently close to each other, then you cannot simply take a decision quickly
mm-hmm.
that which one is bigger. So you can give a reference line where we can add say color. This is highest one, the max. Okay, and the reference line expression could be defined here as transaction revenue, whichever the aggregation you have used, max, mean, average, all these things you can define here. Minimum is this one.
But shouldn't the max expression go up to 1.3 or 1.4 million?
Yeah, need
Like
to
the
check.
value.
We'll check.
Mm-hmm.
The minimum is seems to be correct. But max is
Mm-hmm.
showing some difference. Minimum is only 30, 32. Okay, and in this chart,
Right.
maximum is must be maximum must be here. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
must be here or here as compared to this. So it's still here. Let me check in this appearance why it is not going up. Okay, I'll check it. What is there any issue with the data or it is? I'll check with other data and see. So this is how the property is calculated.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, I got the point though. Yeah.
And a narrow custom grid line, basically the lines which is showing here, dividing the charts into multiple subsegment, can define the grid line spacing, which is auto, and you can define custom no lines. So there's no grid lines here, wide, medium, and narrow.
Mm-hmm.
Value and data point, just like the same thing we had in ClickQ also, to visualize the labels on the chart. Uh, so this is the value. Just to and orientation, it was there in horizontal and vertical also. Just if you want to make it switch to horizontal or switch to vertical. Max is showing here. Max is 1.5, 1.5. So it was supposed to be here. All right, we'll check it.
Mm-hmm.
And for coloring, there are two different color options. This option was not there in ClickHue. In ClickHue, we had only color by dimension for any chart. You create any chart, you can define the colors. It would be distinct to each other. Every chart colors will be distinct, but here you can do some comparisons. This type of option is also there in Tableau, and as I said, it is just you know matching the functionality of Tableau and accommodating the functionality of Tableau as well as ClickView, which is Qlik Sense. So you could see
Mm-hmm.
the coloring is now auto. I will define it here. color can be a single linear color, or can be color by a distinct color, or can be a threshold color. Threshold color means wherever the data you find bigger, that data would turn into dark into color, and wherever the data you find smaller, it would be lighter. So that's what we call as threshold coloring in MicroStrategy, in Tableau, and here it is called color by measure. Okay, so it is single color. You can either give it
Okay.
as a red, orange, or any coloring. Okay, I'm just copying it out to
Mm-hmm.
use this feature. Copy and paste. Okay, the same chart. Here we would see the different colors. Not single color, I'll just define color by dimensions. So if you define color by dimension, it would be a distinct color, and each dimension represent a different color. But it is not. It is looking beautiful, but it is not good for decision making.
Yeah.
Even it is not good for more decision making. Okay, it is a single color, it is look
Mm-hmm.
better, is to distinguish. And as there are different colors here, there must be a legend. So legend is showing, and showing that, whatever the color is applied, the name of this customer. So legend can be also invisible. Okay, now I just remove the legend. The legend is invisible now. Okay, now what next? I'll just simply make it another color. Now you see, same chart, coloring will be color by measure. When we make it color by measure, each color can be evaluated by the value of the data.
Okay.
I mean, color density will be higher and lower based on the
Mm-hmm.
volume of the data on the data node. So let's see, this color was this. So there are two different color mixtures. Either you apply this 12 color mixture in the color palette, or you apply 100 color mixture. So you can apply this,
Mm-hmm.
you take this color palette into your chart. Now the third option is color by measure. Okay, so color by measure or color by expression. Expression is more or less same as measure here. So when you have multiple measure in a chart, then we can define this option. However, when you have one dimension and one measure, I can define this option, color by measure. So this is more identical for decision making. I'll tell you how.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, here it is looking good. This is looking good, but this is, somewhat like wherever you find lighter in the, small
Darker.
data, the color is more light there. You can see this is a smaller, this is smaller. Wherever you find a bigger data,
Right. Right.
the color density is more darker. So it is instantly catching to my
Mm-hmm.
eye, and I can take a quick decision that which one is bigger. Even if the bar size, all the bar size are same, I can also distinguish which one is bigger, right? Based on the color density.
Mm-hmm.
Here, even though in other charts, the bar size is determining that which one is bigger. But here, even if the bar size is equal, we can take a decision that, yeah, this one is bigger. 1.6 million, 6
Right.
per million, 1 per 6 million. So this
This is more clear. And
right. So for better decision making, this one is more identical.
mm-hmm.
So instantly what I can take decision is, among all the bars, which one is the smaller one, just exclude this one.
Mm-hmm.
Exclude this. This is the dummy data. These two are dummy data. So this one is
Right.
extremely smaller. Why? Because the color density is less. Right. This one is
Mm-hmm.
extremely bigger. Why? Because color is
Yes.
darker. So it's an instant decision making. But here, even if you can see all the bars,
Mm-hmm.
you cannot determine. You need to check one by one the value of the data. And
Mm-hmm.
so was here also.
Right. Right.
Okay. So it's all about one dimensional
This would be
bar
fast.
chart with three different coloring options.
Mm-hmm.
Linear color, this is a linear color, color by dimension, and color by measure.
Yes, sir.
Linear color can be applied only one color on the entire chart, whereas this is can be differentiated based on the bar to bar, and here this should be differentiated based on the measures. Okay, so we will. This is all about the. This is a chart. It's all about one-dimensional bar chart. So we will create another visualization, create new sheet, and create multi-dimension and multi-measure bar chart. There's no individual chart available here. I mean, the same type of chart available here, but we can create through its property. And in multi-dimension, what we can get a side-by-side bar chart. We can get a stack bar chart. We can get a drill down or cyclic group. All those type of bar charts we can create. And multi-measure also, we can create a comparative analysis. So multi-dimensional analysis. So for this, I'll take an object as same bar chart here, and dimension here. This time I'll take as product. Measure will be 2, not 1. Here the measure will be 2,
Mm-hmm.
because it is going to be sorry. Here measure dimension. There will be 2 dimensions. So one dimension I've added here. How could I
Right.
add
Arbitrary.
another dimension to form a multi-dimensional chart? I'll also see. Let me add the measure here. So I've just added the measure. So it form a simple bar chart whose sorting is basically
Exactly. Right.
applied on the measure. So I'm just taking this sorting as
Mm-hmm.
ways.
Mm-hmm.
Now I need to create a multi-dimensional bar chart. Go to data, add
Mm-hmm.
another dimension here,
Okay.
customer. So you see, by default data is created a side by side bar chart, or it is also called as a tiled bar.
Mm-hmm.
That means for individual product, how many customers are the consumer, it is showing here.
Mm-hmm.
So I will just create this as a stack bar chart. Let's choose in this one and go to appearance. Okay, in this appearance, you'll get a property called
Mm-hmm.
presentation. Okay. Here in this presentation, it is called as a group or tiled, or in Qlik it is called as a tiled bar chart. In
Mm.
Tableau, it is called as a side by side bar chart, whereas in here it is called as grouped. Okay, so you can define it as a stack. So for individual product, how many customers are there that will be sold in a stack.
Right.
Okay, so here it is a multi-dimensional analysis.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? So in the data, you can either way you can swap the dimensions and measure dimensions or swap the measures. So now it is presenting customer. All these are the customers, and each customers
Mm-hmm.
purchased how many products. All those products logs are represented in multiple colors.
Okay.
Just like in Qlik, we can promote and demote the dimension. We had that property, right? In the dimension property, we can promote a
Right. Right.
dimension, we can demote a dimension. Here we can simply swap it by dragging it up.
Mm-hmm.
This is beautiful, and it is a multi-dimensional analysis. On the fly, you can see the number of products. So if you needed the legend, you can show it. Otherwise, you can simply turn off the legend. Go to appearance again, and uh, data value must be shown. Just a second. Show legend property. So it is now removed. If you don't want to show the legend, because I can see the legend based on the mouse over also, so I can see these colors represent individual products. So each customer purchase multiple products and they're distinguished in multiple color. This is what the multi-dimensional chart is. It's a stack. Now अरे डोंगल चार्ज ହେଇନଥିଲା କି ୱାଇଫାଇ ଚାର୍ଜର କାଇଁ ୱାଇଫାଇ ରେ କଣ ଚାର୍ଜ ହେଇନଥିଲା କି ବନ୍ଦ ହେଇଗଲା ନା କଣ ବନ୍ଦ ବସିଲା ନେଇ ଯା ସେ ଘରୁ ନେଇ ଯା ଆସିବନି
ହାତ ନେଇଥିଲେ ବସିବା ପାଇଁ ଫୋନ ମନା କଲା। ତୁ ମତେ ଯାଉଛ ଏଇନା ତ ଆସିବନି ମତେ ହଇରାଣ ହଉଛି ଇଏ ହଉଛି ଆମର ରୋଷେଇ ଘର କୋଉଠି କଣ କରି ମତେ କହିଦେଇକି ଯା। ଯୋଉ ଜଗନ ସବୁ ରହିଲେ ପୁଣି ଯୋଉ କେସ୍ ଦିଆଯାଇଥିଲା ସେଠିକି ଯିବେ ଥାନାକୁ।
ଜଗନ ରହିଲା
କେସ୍ ଦିଆହେଇଛି ତାକୁ ସେଠିକି ଗଲେ ଆଉ ତାକୁ ସେଇ ଯୋଉ ସେ ତ ଲେଖିକି ଆସିଥିଲା ନା ସେମାନେ ଡାକିବେ
ଭଲ ଭଲ ହଉ ରୁହନ୍ତୁ ଭଲ କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ନାହିଁ ପଳେଇଲେ କିଛି ଆମ କାମ ହବନି କିନ୍ତୁ କହିଲେ ଆଟଲିଷ୍ଟ କାମଟା ହେଇଯାନ୍ତା।
ହାତ ବସେଇଲେ ମୁଁ ନଉଛି ହାତ ବସେଇବା ପାଇଁ
ପୁରା ଚାର୍ଜ ଡାଉନ୍ ହେଇଛି ନା କଣ?
Amit, are you back?
Yeah. Okay, my actually Wi-Fi restarted. It was the charge was completely discharged, so so it is restarted. Okay, so same thing. I will not take much time to create from the scratch of this particular chart. So you can just copy it out, copy and paste it here, and I can see the product and the dimension. I'll not take customer because customer are used in case of a single product. So I'll take this is product. I'll take the another dimension called week.
Okay.
Weekdays. Okay. So I'll see in every product in product sales by weekdays. Okay. So add sorry add uh, weekday. Oh, I think these dimensions are not properly created. So anyway, this month week
That's a blank.
are not properly created. So that's why it is having showing only 1 month. So that's why it's not creating. Anyway, I'll add from the scratch from here only. Move. Just start a product. Um, I can get a product right over here, and I can add a dimension make uh, month. Transaction month. So here we have date, transaction date, I can take it. Yeah, now it is created. Month is created, so likewise weekdays also can be created. Weekday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all those day will be named like that. Okay, that's how this is the statistics. What we can see here,
Yeah.
every
So which
product,
day the product has been sold?
every product has 7 days of sales. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
now I've just made it. Mm, it is sorted based on the amount. So sorting, what we'll do, product name they have applied, so I will make a sorting based on the weekday. Hmm? So that Monday to and here the label is
Mm-hmm.
okay. The sorting, we'll just drag the label weekday to top, and you see, yeah, this is properly showing now. So each product sells, here it is, each customer has multiple products. Okay, has purchased multiple products. So each product is represented in multiple color in a single bar. Okay, in a single bar, and they are fragmented into multiple colors. Whereas here, same product is sold as sold in multiple days, multiple weekdays, Wednesday, Sunday, Monday. So the sorting is taking mostly alphabetically. Okay, no issue. So here you can see this product is highly sold on Tuesday. This product is also highly sold on
Mm-hmm.
this product is highly sold on Saturday. So this statistic we can take like which type of product is highly sold on which days, and this is a group. This is a group wise presentation, or it is also called as a tiled. Whereas if you just make it stack, it will be break into multiple same. There will be one bar, and there will be break
Right.
into multiple colors. If you just make it group,
Mm-hmm.
I mean just reverse. Okay, one on top of another is called as a stack. Whereas if you just represent them in a queue, they will be formed as a group. Right. Second dimension is represented in a queue. Here the second dimension is placed one top of another. Right. This is what we have, the stack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is one. This is one analysis. Now, when the user will see a dashboard, would they be able to see like one? Will be going to one sheet and then they will browse from here, or else they will go next like this. So if you want to represent in a presentation view,
Right.
in ClickU, how it was there in multiple tabs it was there, but here there is not multiple tabs. You have to toggle from one sheet to
Mm-hmm.
another sheet, just like these all are independent. So you can create a storytelling.
Okay.
Okay, it's more one dimension, and I'll create multiple measure just for comparison. So these types we will create from the bar chart. The same will be applied to other chart like line chart and area chart.
Mm.
Multi-measure analysis is mostly used for comparison, like target versus actual,
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
plan versus actual is needed. So again, I'll take a bar chart here and take a customer. There is only one dimension. I'll take customer, and here measure I can take as, say, um, quantity. Sorting by customer. Okay. So for multi-measure, I have to go to data and add multiple measure. There's a customer, there's a measure here, quantity. So I can add another one. Quantity I've added, I'll just add sales. So for sales in comparison to quantity is very high. So let's take some other attribute.
Probably sales and revenue.
Uh, huh. Even for sales and revenue also could be very distinct. I mean, it should be probably sales by discount would help. Quantity and discount. Uh,
Mm.
okay, we can take alternative. So alternative measure means we will.
Oh, okay. So we can cycle by measure, something like that.
So we had a property in ClickQ just to select multiple dimension.
Mm.
Okay, it is also
Right.
you know it is a kind of cyclic group also. Okay, you can create multiple measure. You can add multiple dimension to choose. This option exactly was not there in ClickQ. Okay, to toggle multiple measure at the same time was not there. In that case, we had to do many customizations, like we'll pass a variable, and in that variable we can pass a measure, and we can toggle through variable switching. But here straight away we can choose multiple measures, same dimension, multiple measure with alternative measure. Actually, it is not basically showing in a single chart. It is showing you know a comparison is not good here. Just to visualize multiple measures on a single chart. But if you do in alternative way, like another chart, revenue, I will just remove alternative this thing. Same measure I'll add here. Quantity and sales. Sales and revenue. Yeah, it is somewhat comparable. Okay. So that's a multi-measure, and even multiple, more than one measure, more than two measures can be added. Like in this case, discount, or in this case, quantity is too less. Anyway, so like this, multiple measures can be added for comparison. Can also be stacked. It can also be grouped. Okay, if you want to make it group, is compared to this, group and stack can be formed. So like what was the statistic um, of sales, what is the statistic for revenue, you can visualize it here. And here we have added the alternative measure, so just switch and to add multiple measure on the fly. uh, revenue, add another alternative measure, sales, revenue quantity, and discount as well. So I have four measures in a single chart, and in appearance color should not be auto. Let's make it by color by measure. Values will be shown. Okay. It's a kind of multi-measure analysis on a single chart. So what is the decision here? The first measure is revenue. Mm,
Hmm. I mean, as far as I understand, sales is is the net, isn't it?
revenue is showing
Or
you know uh, fix here, and
I,
customer quantity, the revenue is just comparing the values with revenue. Highest revenue is this,
mm-hmm.
and lowest is this, whereas our current existence is this. Okay, so in the same sheet we will create other type of visualizations. Combo chart. Combo is basically clubbing of two different type of objects. Like here we are adding bar
Mm-hmm.
against bar, right? We are comparing bar against bar, but we cannot
Right.
compare bar against line or line against area.
Mm-hmm.
So combo is basically mixing of two seamless type of objects in a single object. Comparison we can able to create here also,
Right.
but comparing
Mm-hmm.
two different type of charts in a single frame is called as a combo chart. Here we can take it off, say, other table like order detail. Yeah, that's measure. So this particular chart is created. See, we have just added it, but we have not created as a global dimension and measure. On the fly, we have added. So
Mm-hmm.
the same way, we have to change the property here to give it a final touch. So item and net arrow is the order value. Now
Mm-hmm.
this is one, and then I can add one second measure here. I need to add a second measure. So add uh, if you facing difficult to select from here, just go to formula editor, and there we can simply write.
Type in. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It would be easier for us to write.
Right, right.
Net amount. Aggregation is sum. So it is written, and I can choose it from here. So I have get these two measures. I need to change its value. Say order value versus net amount. Anyway, I'm least bothered about the data. Uh, Now just in the appearance, I have to go and change the property. So, and the net amount here in this property only, I have three options. Either you select as bar or line or marker. One is a bar, another is a line. So my first measure is order value, which is represented as bar. Second measure is net amount, which is represented as line. Okay. Now there is one option, like when you are seeing this chart, you can see there is a x-axis. I mean x-axis and y-axis. This
Mm-hmm.
is called primary axis actually. We can also have a secondary axis. It's only possible in a combo chart. Whereas in other chart, even though we are doing a comparisons, secondary axis is not possible. So what is secondary axis? Like both the sides will have the y-axis representation. So this is the net amount which is represented on the same. I can just take it to secondary axis. So you see this side is order value and right side is net amount.
Mm-hmm.
Exclude zero values. Colors can be defined on different measures. Mm. Comparative analysis it can be bar versus bar, it can be bar versus line, it can be bar versus symbol.
Mm-hmm.
So the same item representation can be This is order value. Let the second one can be symbol. It will be only a mark, or mark will be shown here wherever it is. It can be circle or a square or a diamond. Whenever it is square, you can see a square size here.
Right.
Full field marker or polo marker also can be shown. Or line also can be shown. Just to make it because these two values are actually same, represented in two different names. So if I'll just take it like insert apply. Okay, now you see this is the quantity, this is the net amount.
Right.
Stock,
Then
sales versus stock. Okay. Quantity is a stock, so I can represent here. Secondary axis is line. Line looks much better to me. So you can differentiate here the color. X-axis item can be one color. There are three different options are available in the color legend. X-axis item can be auto or custom. Custom, if it is custom, then choose the color legend. Apply the single color. If it is single color, then both the colors are like
same color, yeah. That doesn't look good.
that is difficult. Color by measure is also not identical. So color by dimensions, uh, both the two different measures should be a different color. So this is more identical. Okay, this is what we have the combo chart. These are all the bar chart with multi. So what we did today, like single dimension and single measure bar chart with linear color, color by dimension and color by measure. Second is multi-dimensional analysis with a stack bar chart and tiled or group bar chart. And then multi-measure analysis with a cyclic group feature. This is called an alternative dimensional measure. And comparison analysis with a group. And then your combo chart with line versus bar and symbol versus bar. Okay. So we will quickly wrap it up with other objects and then move on to the advanced set analysis for the expressions, for what if analysis, and then for storytelling and mashups and all. Okay, so we need to have a good number of individual sheets so that we can create a stories. Okay,
Right.
so let's meet tomorrow at the same time.